Ready? All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this Aston Township Board of Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, January 19th to order, 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December 15th, 2021.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second question or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, I'd like to move on to a proclamation that Commissioner McGinn will read.
Thank you, Commissioner Stigale. I have a proclamation to read tonight on recognizing January 23rd through January 29th as School Choice Week. Whereas all children in Aston Township should have access to the highest quality education possible, and whereas Aston Township recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in Aston Township to be successful adults, and whereas quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of Aston Township, and whereas Aston Township is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children in the home. And whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community, and whereas Aston Township has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings who are committed to educating our children, and whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness of the need for effective educational options. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize January 23rd through January 29th, 2022 as Aston Township School Choice Week. This will be duly proclaimed this 19th day of January 2022.
Thank you. I'd like to move on to committee reports. Commissioner Dougherty, please.
I have before me the Treasurer's Report for December 2021. Total cash in the general fund as of December 31st was $2,800,624.06. Other funds include the TD Bank Bond Fund checking account with a balance of $2,151,564.25. The TD Bank Escrow checking account with a balance of $298,153.91. The TD Bank American Recovery Fund account with a balance of $754,296.31. And the TD Bank Capital checking account with a balance of $731,996.45. Total cash balance for the township as of December 31st was $6,987,024.60, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Prendergast.
Public Works Director's Activity Report for December 2021, January 3rd, 2022. Following report highlights the main activity of Public Works Department, which consists of Director of Public Works, Palmore and Highway Department. All metal was picked up throughout the township. All vehicles were maintained and serviced. All streetlights issues were reported to Lenai Electric for replacement or repair. All township parks had branches and trash picked up by the Highway Department. All parks, retention ponds, and islands were cut, edged, and cleared of trash. All small engine repairs were completed in-house. All 811 call sheets were reviewed and marked when necessary. Branch pickup started the first full week of the month, along with metal pickup the new year. Leaves were blown and mulched in all of our parks. The department continues to ready all trucks and equipment for the winter season. Several vehicles went to Garnet Ford for recall items. The Highway Department installed conduit for generators at the new building location. Our sanitation department picked up 91.04 tons of recycling and 523.82 tons of residential waste in the month of December. Please remember that the first full week is metal and appliance week and branch pickup. Bulk trash week does not exist anymore. Anything that can burn can be put out on the curb for your trash at any time. Please have your trash in the curb by 6 a.m. on your designated trash day. Any questions or complaints, please contact Russ Palmore, Director of Public Works, at 610-494-8005. And that's all I have for my report, Commissioner.
Thank you. Commissioner Berry?
Thank you, President Stigale. This is the police report for December 2022. And incidents handled, 550. Accident investigations, 42. Criminal investigations, 45. Criminal cases cleared, 12. Clearance rate Part 1 was 18%. Clearance rate Part 2 was 35%. And that's the conclusion. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Higgins?
Thank you. I have the permits and licenses report from the Building and Code Department. The following is a report for the permits and licenses issued for the month of December 2021. Beginning balance, $1,040,277. Total permits and licenses, $13,113. Total electrical permits and licenses, $3,814. Total plumbing and heating permits and licenses, $10,756. Income from Board of Health licenses, $1,300. Income from commercial maintenance inspections, 0. Income from certificates of occupancy, $2,525. Income from rental licenses, $2,475. Income from street openings, $90. And total revenue collected for the month, $34,073. The total for 2021 is $1,074,350. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowden?
Thank you. Fire report for the month of November and December. Fire calls, 66, year-to-date, 782. EMS calls, 196, year-to-date, 1,957. Total calls, 262, year-to-date, 2,739. Monthly drills, 1, year-to-date, 34. That's all I have.
Do you have library? Is there a library on there?
I have it's not a report per se, it's like activities that are going on. I can give it at this point.
It's
You
either
want me
now
to?
or under other.
I'll be glad to read
No,
it
this
at this
one,
point. It's basically,
Nancy, it's in your book.
oh, I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm not going to read this whole report. He emailed me this.
Okay.
You can, if I can read it, you want me to. The most important thing from the library is that Stephen wanted everyone to know that there's going to be Zumba on Tuesday at 2 p.m. starting February 22nd. You can register at the www.astonlibrary.org. And coming up in March, they're going to have chair yoga with Miss Lisa. So if anybody out there would like to get involved, it's a free thing for some of the seniors out there. It's great. Go up and give it a try. I can read this whole report if you want me to, Jim.
No, it's just, it's in there. I just didn't know.
No, I don't normally read it, but some of the highlights of it is the toddler preschool story time drew a total of 41 kids this month. The infant story time drew a total of 27 kids this month. 8 kids attended a STEM program on the 11th. Basically, it's what's going on each day at the library, and I don't think the public is looking to look for that. They're looking at what's going on up at the library. Thank you.
Commissioner McGinn, anything?
Nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. All right, moving on, I need an approval. I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report. I have second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I make a motion to approve the bills and payroll report. Second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I'd like to open up the floor to the public for agenda items only. Anyone has anything? Okay, seeing none. I'd like to move on to new business. Line item A, consider a motion to approve a walking trail easement agreement. Commissioner McGinn, please.
Thank you. I'd like to read the following walking trail easement agreement in the form of a motion. I'll read through it here. Walking trail easement agreement. This right-of-way easement agreement, further known as agreement, is made this 19th day of January 2022 in between Chester Water Authority, grantor, and Aston Township, a first-class township in the county of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, grantee. Whereas grantor is the owner of certain real estate properties situated 4600 Concord Road, Aston, PA 19014, which is further identified as folio 02-00-00588-00, otherwise known as property. And whereas grantor has agreed to grant and convey to grantee an easement for improvements associated with the construction of a walking trail identified on a plan entitled West Branch Trail Project Easement Plan, prepared by Pannoni and Associates, Inc., dated May 15, 2021, which is attached hereto as Exhibit A, and made part hereof right-of-way easement area. And whereas grantee has agreed to accept said right-of-way easement, subject to the terms and conditions set forth herein. Now, therefore, in consideration of the mutual promises and agreements hereinafter set forth for other good and valuable consideration, the receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged and intending to be legally bound, the parties hereby agree as follows. 1. Easement. Grantor hereby declares, grants, conveys, and confirms unto grantee a permanent, non-exclusive right, privilege, and easement on, over, under, and across the right-of-way easement area to access, construct, install, repair, replace, operate, and maintain the improvements necessary for the walking trail, as more specifically identified in Exhibit A. Grantor hereby reserves the right to use the right-of-way easement for ingress, egress, and regress, paving, landscaping, and any other use permitted by grantee. 2. Obligation to maintain. Grantee shall perform all work, activities, and operations on or about the property in a good and workmanlike manner consistent with sound engineering and construction practices. Upon the completion of any work by grantee pursuant to this agreement, grantee agrees to maintain the said right-of-way easement as its sole cost and expense. Grantee further agrees to defend, indemnify, and save harmless the grantor from all claims, lawsuits, proceedings, judgments, expenses, assessments, damages, and/or liabilities of every kind to the extent said damages, injuries, or causes of action alleged are as a result of grantee's negligence, gross negligence, or breach of any obligation under this agreement. 3. Binding effect. This agreement shall be binding upon the heirs, executors, administrators, successors, and assigns to the parties hereto. 4. Governing law. This agreement shall be governed by the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The parties have executed or caused to be executed these presents intended to be legally bound thereby. And the grantor would be Chester Water Authority, signed by Cynthia F. Leitzel, Chairwoman, Chester Water Authority Board of Directors. Make this in the form of a motion.
Any second questions or comments?
I have a question for.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So one comment just before the question for clarification. There's a lot of legalese here. Essentially, this is an easement agreement and the concept of developing a trail throughout the township along the West Branch. Part of that property is owned by Chester Water Authority, and in the work done by Joe Viscuso and our solicitor, Beth Naughton Beck, are able to acquire an easement at zero cost to the township for further pursuing and looking at creating a nature trail that would be something to be accessible for folks, not just in the Second Ward, but certainly Aston Township. When you look at projects and trails, it's something not just in the county, but across Pennsylvania and other areas that have gained a lot of popularity and a good way in terms of outdoor recreation. And something that could be looked at, and for folks that haven't been down in that area, it is pretty nice, and folks don't recognize that we have that level of kind of access, I guess, to nature here in Aston Township. So that's just a little bit of background as I read through something that is a legal document, but essentially it is Chester Water Authority giving us access to use their property permanently for a walking trail. So that's just some background for folks here in the room or listening at home. So Commissioner Higgins, what was your question?
Commissioner, I have a question regarding item 2, obligation to maintain. So Aston Township, as a grantee, has a maintenance obligation here, right? So I forget, you did tell me this, what side of the creek are we on? Are we on the DCIE?
Concord Road side, where the,
Okay, so will we have to go back there and make sure for example, the high grasses are trimmed and that kind of stuff? And
so, yeah, so with an easement, and this is pretty standard language, I'll let Beth comment as a solicitor on the legal side, as I'm not an attorney, but very familiar with easement agreements. So if you have an easement yourself, and, you know, the township has various easements, sewer authority, for example, that have easements, you agree that you have to maintain that easement. So that would include whatever maintenance is there, should we move forward and with the trail project.
so Mr. DeFeo will take care of making sure that they get down there. Okay, that's all. Easy, yeah, good thing.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Line item B, consider a motion to approve a temporary easement for construction. Commissioner McGinn again.
Sure.
Now you can really explain it.
All right, so I will, I'll read the easement first in the form of a motion, and then I'll make comment after. So I'd like to make the following motion for the approval of this agreement known as the temporary easement for construction purposes. This indenture made this 19th day of January 2022 by and between the Chester Water Authority grantor, owner of property located at 4600 Concord Road, Aston Township, Pennsylvania, tax folio number 0200000588-00, hereinafter grantor, and Aston Township, a first-class township in the county of Delaware, Pennsylvania, hereinafter grantee. Witnesseth, that was a hard one to say. That's not in the agreement, that's just an aside. Whereas grantee has undertaken a project to install a walking trail identified in a plan entitled West Branch Trail Project Easement Plan, prepared by Pannoni Associates, Inc., a true and correct copy of which is attached hereto and incorporated by reference, hereinafter known as plan. Whereas grantor owns property affected by the plan for which a temporary construction easement is required, and whereas grantor has agreed to grant and convey to grantee a temporary easement for the purpose of allowing grantee to perform the grading necessary to construct the walking trail, and which is more fully described in the plan. Now, therefore, grantor hereby donates and grants to the grantee a temporary construction easement for the purpose of undertaking the above improvements, and easement to extend to the area shown in the plan, and authorize entry and re-entry of employees, agents, and contractors of grantee upon said area to do any and all work necessary for the completion of the walking trail, provided, however, that upon completion of the walking trail, the grantee shall be obligated to restore the area covered by the easements to a condition commensurate with that of the balance of the property of the grantor. Grantee, its agents, or subcontractors shall defend and indemnify grantor against any damages, accidents, casualties, occurrences, or claims which might arise or be asserted against grantor in connection with the construction of the walking trail. The parties have executed or caused to be executed these presents intended to be legally bound thereby. Grantor, Chester Water Authority, signed by Cynthia F. Leitzel, the chairwoman of the Chester Water Authority Board of Directors. I read and make this temporary easement for construction purposes in the form of a motion.
I have second. Questions or comments?
So comment, what is this? So it's essentially a version of the first one. The first easement is for a permanent easement. That means we have it in perpetuity. The temporary easement is when you build something, you have to construct it. So you're going to need more room than what you would have for a permanent easement. And so that's what this temporary easement does. It gives you rights to some of that additional area during the time of construction. But then once construction is done, it says we as a township have to take the temporary parts and put it back in kind of the same order it was before, or at least to Chester Water Authority's satisfaction, and then we lose an easement on that additional land. So this would only be temporary and for construction. Is that a fair summary, Beth? Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Good luck on that. Line item C, consider a motion to approve the release of funds to Aston Valley Baseball. Commissioner Prendergast.
Thank you, Commissioner. Consider a motion to approve the release of funds to the Aston Valley Baseball League for lighting improvement at Weir Park. I make a motion to approve $20,000 to be released to the Aston Valley Baseball League This is a budget line item and was procured by a grant. The funds are to be used to help with the lighting improvement being completed at Ware Road. In the form of a motion?
Second.
Second, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Line item D, consider a motion to accept the proposal for accounting and management advisory services. Commissioner Dougherty.
I make a motion to accept the proposal for 2022 from Lightsol and Economides Professional Corporation in fees not to exceed $3,000 per month for accounting and management advisory services in the form of a motion.
I have a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Line item E, consider a motion to accept a proposal to provide services completing the 2021 Aston Township audit. Commissioner Dougherty.
I make a motion to accept the proposal for Bars, Gowie, Amon, and Foltz to provide services completing the Aston Township 2021 financial audit with fees not to exceed $25,750 in the form of a motion.
Second, question or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Line item F is going to be tabled. I'd like to move on to G, consider a motion to award a drainage project to JMC Contractors, Inc. Commissioner Prendergast.
Consider a motion to award the drainage project to JMC Contractors. I make a motion to award the drainage project for Scarlett Avenue, Houston Drive, and Megan and Marie Circles to JMC Contractors in the amount of $482,719 in the form of a motion.
I have second, questions or comments? Basically, we're trying to do some improvements, much needed, within the township with some funds that we had allocated to us. Thankfully to Commissioner Dougherty that we were able to get these projects done. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I'd like to move on. Escrow releases, Commissioner Higgins.
Thank you. There's a lot of them tonight. Aston Township, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Resolution 2022-04. Whereas ordinance number 240 and ordinance number 360 provide for escrow funds for completion of improvements, and whereas the Township Engineer and the new Construction Committee has approved the request for escrow funds to be released from Springbrook Land Development Folio 0377-00, subaccount 776-535-9722. Now therefore it be resolved that Aston Township execute such action as required by the Township Secretary and the President of the Board of Commissioners to release the sum of $10,234.50 to Aston Township due to the general fund to be used to issue permits. Duly adopted the 19th day of January 2022, Township of Aston, by James M. Stigale, President, Board of Commissioners, and attested to by Kelly A. Pippin, Township Secretary, in the form of a motion.
I have second, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
The following amount is for engineering fees to be paid to Pennoni Associates for the month of January, and that's a summary total for all these ones I thought I was going to have to read. So, the motion is for a payment of $9,326.50 to Pennoni Associates.
I have a second, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And the last piece of this is the following amount is for engineering fees to be paid to Cirilli Associates, Inc. for the month of January. Total of $5,318.75 in the form of a motion.
I have second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
That's all.
Thank you. I'd like to open the floor to the public. If anyone has anything, come to the podium. Name and address, please.
Good evening. Leonard Balistieri, 580 Convent Road. B-A-L-E-S-T-R-I-E-R-I. So I am not here as a resident. I am here as chairman of the Southwest Delaware County Municipal Authority, or better known as the Sewer Authority in the town. As you're aware, Delcor treats all the sewage that goes through the Sewer Authority down here. They've announced a 12% rate increase for 2022. Through the hard work of the board and the staff of the Sewer Authority, our rate increase for 2022 will only be 3%. We have negotiated a new contract with Decorah, an amendment to our contract, so we are capped every year. So what that means to the resident is, if you're a household that uses less than 5,000 gallons, your rate's going to go up about $1.15 a month, your fee. If you're an average household, which is about 13,000 gallons a month, quarter, sorry, it's $1.68 a month. It'll go up. The surrounding authorities, the other sewer authorities in this area, their average rate increase this year for 2022 is 12%. So we are not going that high. Like I said, we are only 3. It's been great working with everybody to get it down that low and keep us balanced for our budget. Just so, a little history, because the sewer authority gets thrown under the bus a lot about our rate increases and stuff. Just so you know, since 2015, our average rate increase has only been 2.73%. It's one of the lowest in the area rate increase-wise. The average surrounding areas that are similar size to us, similar authorities, their average rate increase is 8.21% per year. So that's really it, unless you have any questions or comments for me.
No, thanks for saving us money.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
good job, Len.
Anyone else have anything? All right, moving on to other business. Commissioner Dougherty?
No comments this evening.
Thank you. Commissioner Prendergast?
Just telling everybody, be careful Friday in the snowstorm.
Okay. Commissioner Berry?
No comments.
Ooh. Commissioner Higgins?
Yes, I have some, some comments under other business. We want to consider a motion to approve some committee appointments. So I make a motion to approve the following committee appointments. Phil Iwaka, how do you say his name? Phil Iwaka. Owaka. Phil Owaka, 5th Ward, sorry. 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health. John Zaworkin, 7th Ward, 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health. Leonard Ballesteri, out there, 1st Ward, 5-year term on the Southwest Delaware County Municipal Authority. Christine Leary, 1st Ward, 3-year term on the Library Board of Trustees. Glenna Carroll, 7th Ward, 3-year term on the Library Board of Trustees. And John McKenna, 7th Ward, 6-year term on the Civil Service Commission. All those in one as a form, in the form of a motion.
I have a second. My comment is anyone on the board have any questions or comments about each or any of these individuals? Okay. See,
I'd just like to say one thing. I'd like to thank them for serving on the board. Most of them were thankless jobs, and we really do appreciate everything that they do and serve for us.
now since we're doing them together as a group, I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to make a comment on any individuals. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
That's all I have, other than everybody be safe.
Commissioner Bowden?
I have a couple things. The first thing I have is our Hometown Hero banner situation. We just sent 65 more banners to be printed to the vendor. They should be back and being ready to be installed by our wonderful Public Works Department, hopefully in the end of February, beginning of March. Our town looks wonderful with the banners. We've had a few mishaps where a few of the banners, with the horrible weather that we've had, have come down. They've been found, and again, our Public Works Department has been quickly to reinstall them back where they're missing from. The other thing I have is the Aston Seniors. Aston Senior Citizens are up and running again. They're going to be holding a lunch meeting next Thursday, the 27th of January at the Aston Community Center. If you'd like to join the seniors, come out to their meeting, come for lunch, you can contact Ann Sweeney, the new president, at 610-494-0677. That's all I have at this time.
Thank you. Commissioner McGinn?
Yes. First off, Lenny, who's here representing the Sewer Authority, it's a tough job. I remember being on that board a number of years ago as we were going through and transitioning to Delcora. Thank you for all the work you and the sewer authority are doing, keeping those rates down. It's really important, and folks that have lived in town for a while remember and have long memories from the tough times there and that 40, 50 year, whatever it was, Middletown agreement that was brutal for us. So job well done. A couple of second ward notices. First, one of the things we approved today for stormwater improvements at Houston and Concord Hills. That's been an issue in particular for the residents at the end, and hopefully that'll help remedy the stormwater issues and some of the issues that are impacting our streets there. And speaking of streets, something probably I still get calls and check-ins on is Aston Mills Road. Thank you to Chester Water Authority, who actually came out. I think it was before this month, so I think, but maybe since the last meeting, and did some paving on the side of the road where they had done some work. That's made things a lot better getting up the hill. And with persistent reach out to PennDOT and including our state elected officials, we did get word this week that PennDOT is going to come out and do some patching, try to get that road through the winter. So that's good news for folks that are listening that have asked for that. We've been persistent, and thankfully they're going to come through on that. And we are on the schedule, Joe, right, Viscuso, for paving Aston Mills Bernie Highway in the spring. And we're not going to let them forget it. So we're going to keep pushing, I guess, and not just take yes for an answer. So we're going to follow through and make sure it's done. So some good news there for folks that travel along Aston Mills and people who have asked on that. And we'll make sure to follow through and get that done. Right, Bill? Yes. Great. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Mr. DeFeo, anything?
No, just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to serve. We made some great progress. I've been there almost 2.5 weeks now, and I think we're making some great strides moving forward. Thank you.
All right. Kelly, anything? Beth?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Stigale. I'd like to put on the record that all township employees, boards, and commissioners have reviewed the Township Code of Ethics and completed the Conflict of Interest report that is being kept on file with the Township Secretary.
Joe, anything? You have something?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. One of my residents just passed away about 10 days ago, Harry Shoecraft from Edgar Avenue. Harry's been a fixture. By the way, he's in his mid-90s. But Harry's been a fixture around Aston Township for many years. He came up to me one day in 2005 when I was running for office, and this isn't political, but I was running for office. He said, "I hear you're running for office." And I said, "Yeah, I am." He says, "Well, I can probably get you at least 60 votes. So why don't you stop around my house and see me, and we'll talk." And I did, and here I am. So the gentleman went out of his way to be nice. He was years ago on the sewer authority, a lot of other things in the town as far as sports. I believe he might have been an umpire too. And he was one hell of a wood carver. If you want to see the birds that this gentleman carved, all kinds of birds and ducks and so forth, it was unbelievable. And sometimes they are on display over at the community center. So I just want to remember Harry Shoecraft, and my condolences go to his family. His son, Steve, or Shuey, used to be the solicitor here right before I got on the board in 2006. So great man, great family, and I just wanted to offer my condolences. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, sorry that he passed. Yeah. Anybody else? With that, I need a motion to adjourn.